Morning, Cindy. How's everybody this morning? Thank you for the likes. I'm good. I'm tired. Today was one of those days where I had a hard time keeping my eyes open this morning. Just taking a minute here to, how are you this morning? Yeah, I don't like those days either. I was sitting there falling asleep with my husband this morning, and I finally said to him, I have to put my head back down. Can't keep my eyes open. And I need to leave at 11 o'clock or very shortly after today, so it's okay. Totally get it. I'm just taking a minute to... I decided today we would do the elephant border because I really like the elephant border. It's a free pattern. So I'm looking to see if I can find it. And I'll put it on my link tree so you guys can go to the pattern. It looks like it's one of those pages that's a pain because it's more ads than anything. And as soon as I find the pattern, good morning, Melissa. It's actually really super cute. If I could find it. I had it pulled up yesterday, but I didn't like the website it was on, so I was looking to see if there was a different website. But it is super, super cute. It just looks like elephants across your border. Oh, there's one with cows. I might have to save that one too. Alright, let me just find the one that I had. Let's see. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everybody that's joining. We are going to do the elephant border pattern. And I'm just kind of looking for it here. I know I had it yesterday. And I'm not very exciting this morning. Good morning, Trudy. All right. I don't know why I have this video at the bottom here. Oh my God. There it is. I can get it off. Good morning, Janie. Turn up the light on my camera so I can see myself. Listen to this live. I appreciate you hanging out and listening. Let's see. Saved crochet edges. I'll just have to manage to navigate through this. Pattern here. I hate blogs that have tons and tons of ads that you have to kind of like filter through. Oh, come on. Don't let it be one of those days. Sorry, guys. I thought I was prepared this morning. I want to do the elephant border this morning. And that really wasn't a great pattern. Well, we're going to work with it anyway, and I'll put the pattern up on my link tree. It is a pain to navigate this website, but it's better than nothing, and I will at least try to walk you guys through it. Sorry, I'm ignoring you guys here. I don't mean to. Hey, Liz. Thank you for everybody that's joining. Trudy, Janie, Tammy, Sharon, Barbara, Lisa. Looking at everybody who's here. Procrastinating. Today's not the day for me to procrastinate. Okay. Alright, so I'm adding this to my link tree. It is the pattern that I'm going to do today. At least try to do today. I thought it was early, but it's already 10 to 10. Oh, come on. Alright. Alright, I put the elephant border on my link tree so you guys can go to it and see. So let's start. If I can decipher this, it's like a mess of a pattern. Since this is what I have out, this is the yarn I'm going to use today. And this works on, hey Cindy, thank you so much for posting the video of the crochet hook book. That turned out fantastic, by the way. I have no idea how many I have to chain for this. That's something I would have to figure out at the end, because it's just one of those patterns. So I'm just going to chain quite a few and then single crochet back real quick and then start it, because this is like a border. It is an edge. No, the pattern is, oh, hold on, TikTok's trying to send me messages here and put things up on my screen. I can't read it. Give me 1 second. It'll go away. No, the pattern is for the crocheted elephant border. So I'm just going to do a row of single crochet and then I'll do my border. There it goes. I don't know if you got that, Melissa. The pattern is for the crocheted elephant border. I did put the pattern link, since it's a free pattern, I did put it in my link tree if you wanted to go back and try to read it, but it's like funky. She just kind of has pictures up with the stitches listed in the top corner, or I'll show it to you. It's almost like a page with pattern notes on a blog site. But if you want to go back to it and refer to it, I did put that link on my link tree. Right, I almost got my foundation row here. Since it is an edging, I was doing one row of single crochet so that I can build from it and do my edge on top of it. Alright, I am cutting this off because typically I wouldn't cut something off that I was going to tear out, but I don't feel like dealing with it today. So I'm just cutting it off. So this is the way this pattern is written. It's just pictures with like the stitch written on top of it. So I'm going to do my best to decipher this. And I'm going to use yellow or gold for the border so that you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys can see that. Stick that in my fancy yarn bowl. My fancy yarn bowl. Okay. Alrighty. So I have my, say, blanket or whatever I'm doing, and I want to put my elephant edge on it. So, following this pattern as I go, so bear with me. And they are elephants. They're actually really cute. And I did put the link to the pattern that I'm following in my link tree. I don't know how many times I've said that now. Okay, so work 8 single crochet. It seems simple enough, so I'm going to join with a single crochet. I'm joining in the wrong place there. So I'm going to join with my single crochet, and it says work 8 single crochet across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, I'm not sure of the repeat for how many stitches to do. I'm just kind of following this, and afterwards I can count and figure out how many stitches that it works across. But if you're working across it and you get to the end, you can just add a couple more stitches to get to the next point you want to be at. So there's my 8 single crochet. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Why doesn't that seem right? 8 single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Oh, maybe it is right. 1, 2, this is just the first row. 3. I'm sure it would probably look a lot different if I used smaller yarn, but I'm using a bigger yarn. So far I've got 8 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. So 8 double crochets, chain 3. In the very next stitch, I start and work my 3 double crochets. All right. Now it says chain 2, skip 2. So I chain 2, I'm going to skip 2, and now I'm going to do 4 double crochets. So I skipped 2 and did 4 double crochets, and then it says turn. Okay, so it says turn and chain 2. So I turned and I chained 2. So this double crochet must count as the first double crochet, because it looks like I'm going to double crochet over the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 double crochets over those double crochets, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, four double crochets. Where do I put the 4th one? Oh, I see. 4 double crochets. So she does a double crochet over each one of those 3, and then in the top of the chain here. 2, 3, 4. So she counts that chain as one of the, where we chained there, she counts that as one of the double crochets. And to be honest with you, I think she chained 3 there. She did. She chained 3 there, But because you already have the height of this single crochet before this chain 3, I think I would just chain 2 there, and it would pull them a little bit closer so it would look right. Or I would even maybe, instead of, I don't know, maybe just chain 1 there. I'm not real sure. But anyway, so far that's what the pattern says to do. So that's what I'm doing, exactly what the pattern says to do so far. So I did my 4, and then I'm going to do 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. So that's my second row. I slip stitch to the first single crochet. Alrighty, next row. I'm going to turn, and it looks like she turns without chaining 1. So she just turns. And she does 5 single crochets right in that space. 2, 3, 4, 5. So she does 5 single crochets in that chain 6 space. And then she's going to do a chain 2, and she's going to double crochet all the way across. So she chains 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She must count that. Oh no, she doesn't. Chain 2. So this was my chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So she double crochets in that last chain, in her starting chain there as well. So it's 10 double crochets. So that's what I have so far. Now I'm going to begin the head. It says, chain 5, last to base. This is like reading a foreign language. PJ joined. I'm not quite sure what she means by that. Okay, but we're going to give it a try. Chain 5, 3, 4, 5. I'm thinking last to base probably means that I'm going to single crochet, or I'm going to slip stitch to the base there to make a loop. That's what it looks like. So just like we joined our peacocks or picots, because I'm not real sure what she means by last to base. So I've got chain 5, it says chain 5 last to base, and then beginning ears in the 5 chain loop. So I'm assuming she's making this a loop. She's going to slip stitch that to the first stitch there to make a loop. And then it looks like instead of turning our work this way, it looks like she's going to start going around the loop. So chain 3 and 6 double crochet. Okay. So this might be easier to show you from the other side. Oh my God, I'm so stiff today. Let me see if I can look and chain at the same time. Okay, so this is what I have so far. And this is I have to flip my camera. Let me flip my camera and then I can show you guys a little bit better. Okay. All right. Don't mean to shake you up there. That way I can see from behind it. Okay, so I did my last row, and that's going to screw with my focus. Is that better? A little bit better. Okay, so now that she did that chain 5 loop, and she's not going to turn and work this way. It looks like she keeps going around. Where's my yarn there? Okay, so now that she's single crocheted that to that loop there, it looks like she's going to keep going around. So she's going to chain 2, or I'm sorry, chain 3, 2, 3, and then she's going to rotate it, not turn it. So she's still working from the right side. She just turns her work, she just kind of moves her work around so the loop is on the bottom. So you still continue to work through the loop from the right side of your fabric. Here's my focus. So I don't know how much sense that makes. So this is going to be, I'm assuming, our first double crochet. So she's going to 6 double crochet in that loop. So I'm going to work around and do my 6 double crochet in that loop. 1, I don't know how else to make this better. You can see how I just pulled it and I'm still working with the right side. I just kept going on that loop. So whereas I chained my loop and secured it, I'm going to keep going around the loop the same way. So from here, I chained my loop and secured it, but I'm going to keep working up and around this way. So she chains 3 for her first double crochet, and then she does 6 more double crochet into there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. So you can see how that's the same. I did my chain loop up this way, and then I kept going this way for my 6 double crochets. Don't know why it won't focus. Okay, so then I'm going to chain 3 and slip stitch. But I think I'm actually just going to chain 2 because my double crochets are a little bit smaller. So I'm going to chain my 2 and then I'm going to slip stitch. And I guess that's making my first ear. Still working on the same side, and I'm still working around that loop. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to chain 3 and do 6 more double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Trying to find a good working vantage point. Do another single crochet or double crochet 6, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. So I've got my chain. I'm still working this way around my loop. Darn it. 4, 5, 6. So now I have the first 6 double crochets, and I have my slip stitch to that ring, and I have my second set of double crochets, and then chain 3, skip a stitch, and slip stitch to finish. So she does chain 3. Don't follow this because I'm not sure I like this. Chain 3. Is there another step after this? No. So I'm going to, because I want to finish this head. I don't think I like how that comes down there. She's got a chain 3, or in my case, since I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch back down into that loop to make my ears. And then it looks like she makes a head, but she doesn't have it there. And it looks like she just kind of chains another 3, and then slip stitches back down in there to kind of make like a little head part. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not real sure because she doesn't have that part of the pattern written in there. And then she chains 3, 2, 3, and then she skips a stitch on the base. And she said slip stitch to finish, but it looks like she single crochets to finish. So that would be, let me flip my camera backwards again. That would be how the pattern's written. So it does kind of look like an elephant. It looks like I would have to play with it because her tension's probably a lot different than mine. And your tension's probably a lot different than hers or mine. So yeah, let's, it does look like an elephant. It does look like an elephant. And then that's the trunk coming back down. So then at that point, and this is why I say I think that I would probably join it with a single crochet here, because at this point you're going to start back from this side and you're going to do your single crochets again. It head's a little bit floppy for my taste. I think I probably would have secured it here somehow. And I don't think I have enough across. I thought for sure I did enough across. So that looks like that's a repeat of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like it's a repeat of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that looks like that's a repeat of 19 stitches across. And it does look like an elephant. The head's a little bit floppy. And again, I'm sure if I used a smaller weight yarn, it would look different. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get another one out of this. Let me see. I might have to add a couple. So the first step, so the first step, we're going to start all over again, which is 8 single crochets. So I'm going to count that first one that I did to secure my trunk, hello, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I know I'm not going to have enough to do another whole elephant. So I did my 8, and that would be the 8 that's right here. And then I would do my single crochet 2, double crochet, or chain 2, my 3 double crochets, chain 2, my 4 double crochets. Like I said, I don't think I have enough here, and I didn't leave enough of a tail to crochet some extra on there. So yeah, it does look like an elephant. And like I said, I think I would find when I was doing it some way to secure, like with this stitch here, maybe slip stitch it to the body somehow just so it stayed up. I'll have to work on that. And I've got some time, so I think I'm going to make another chain so that I can do a couple more, and another base row so that I can do a couple more, and work on that again. And I'm trying to think, do I have some sport weight yarn? And I'm pretty sure I do. So let me grab that. Since I showed you guys those stitches, I am totally wrapped up in this. Since I showed you guys those stitches, let me grab some sport weight yarn. And I can make it a little bit smaller so we can see how it looks a little bit smaller. So if you give me 1 second. I didn't even make coffee this morning. I did put on my favorite lipstick though. This is by far my favorite lipstick, and not because of the lipstick, because of the color. Like, it's just like the perfect shade of red for me, and I do like red lipstick. But I hate the brand, and I hate the way it wears, but it's the only brand I can find with this particular color. Anyway, chatter chatter. Let me see if I can find some sport weight yarn. And then I can release it smaller. I can show you a little bit better. Let's see, find two contrasting. Should be some in here. That's regular cotton. I don't know what that is. I just have a little bit too much. I don't want to waste the stuff I just bought. Oh, here's some. Okay. Alrighty. Color that. So the stuff that I'm using now to show you is actually Aunt Lydia's. You have to take a lot of patterns with a grain of salt. Thank you for everybody that stuck around with me there while I went yarn digging. It's Aunt Lydia's size 3. So it's would kind of be the equivalent to sport weight. But you do kind of have to take your patterns with a grain of salt, so to speak, because again, everybody's tension is going to be different and everybody's going to do things a little bit differently. And I think I'm going to start my chain with this into my, and get a smaller hook. I know I have the one that I want out. Is this it? Out meaning sitting on my desk, not. This is it. You'd think I'd have a little bit better organization. Oh, there it is. There it is, under the lamp where it belongs. Okay, so this is a 2.25. I know I have a bigger hook than this, but I'll just crochet it a little bit loose. So I'm going to start with my chain, and I needed, how many did I need to go across here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I needed 19. So I needed a base chain, or a base of 19. So it's going to be a repeat of 19 stitches. So let's try this out and see what this looks like. I can't work with this. That's way too small. And I think I might actually have my other hook in. With another project. I hope not. Again, some days you get scattered with me, some days you get big with me. This is great. What is this? That's a 375. 3.75 millimeter. It's a little bit different. It's a Susan Bates hook, but it's a little bit bigger than the other one that I was doing. Okay. So, back to my chain of 18. I should just do, ooh, this is really odd after using those clover hooks. I think I'm going to, 1, I'm not really good with the starting single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm just going to do a couple more just to make sure I got enough there. And then I'm going to work back and do my row of single crochet. Oh my god, I can't believe I loved this hook at one time. I'll tell you what, those clover hooks really are fantastic. And after using them, I can tell you that they are probably my favorite. As you can see, I've tried just about every kind of hook that I could find when they started coming out with new and different hooks. I just started buying the new and different hooks to see if I liked the feel of them, but the clover hooks are fantastic. I love them, hands down. So I'm just working my base single crochet because I'm going to do that elephant, and I can do it a little bit faster now that I know that I've deciphered that pattern. I'm doing it with a little bit smaller thread so that it looks a little bit different. What did I do with my other hook? Did I put it back already? Of course I did. Oh, I'll just keep going with this one. It won't kill me. I'll have to dig out. I know I have like a whole set of the clover hooks. I bought them one at a time when I had like a 60% off coupon at Joann's. So I got them like really cheap. Because why pay full price for supplies? That makes no sense to me when I can wait a week and get a decent coupon or a decent sale. I'm going to have to find out when Hobby Lobby has their yarn sale. I really want to get some furry yarn because I really do like the hug slugs or snuggle slugs. And I have some blanket yarn left that is what she uses for the heads of them. The heads and the eyes. So I just need to buy some furry yarn to make the bodies. Right, I'm almost across here. I am going to go over the pattern again, but I'm not going to go over it quite so closely. Yeah, I know they have 30% off every other week, and that's why I have to pay attention because inevitably we end up making a trip down there, and it ends up being the week that, you know, whether it's for a doctor's appointment or whatever, because it's about 35 miles away from me, along with the Joann's and the Michaels. They're not close. And inevitably, every time I end up down there, it's like their week off, that they don't have their sale. And I'm just not happy about it. So I'm going to have to pay attention and maybe just take a day with my husband and just like make a date out of it. And just kind of hang out for the afternoon and go down and shop and maybe have lunch. All right, I have to read this pattern again. Alrighty, so I'm going to read it to you as I do it. I'm just not going to show it to you quite so close, quite so close and in detail because I just did that. So, and I'm using a different color, so it's 8 single crochets. I will show you after each step. I'm going to work over that tail. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have my 8 single crochets. And then she chains 3, but I think 2 is appropriate at this point because she's going to count this as a double crochet. And I think chaining the 3 just makes it a little bit too tall. So next she's going to work 3 more double crochets. 1. I think that works out a little bit better. I could have probably just crocheted 1, but that's okay. 2, 3, 4, and then she chains 2, and she skips 2, and then she double crochets 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and she turns. Okay, so then she turns and she chains 2 to turn for her double crochet. She counts that chain as her double crochet. She double crochets in the next 3. She double crochets 2 over the chain 2 space. She double crochets 4 in the last 4 double crochets. 2, 3, and she counts that chain there as a double crochet. So she double crochets into the top of that. 4. So like I said, she counts this as a double crochet, and she double crochets into the top of that. So that's what I have so far. And then I'm going to chain 6 and slip stitch the first single crochet. So I'm going to chain 6 and then slip stitch down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then she's going to slip stitch down there, and then she turns without chaining. She turns without chaining. If you're going to do that, keep your strand to the back of your work. So you can see that's behind my hook. And then she's going to single crochet 5, 2, 3, 4. I'm going right over that chain. 5. So she single crochets 5 right over that chain. she chains 2, which counts as her first single crochet, her first double crochet, and then she's gonna double crochet 10 across, her 10 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 across, and that includes the chain, the beginning chain. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then she single crochets in that beginning chain as her last one. So it's going to be tight for me. 10. So that's what I have so far. And now she's going to do the loopy things for the ears. So she's going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to slip stitch to the top of the head. So you can see the loop there. She slip stitched to the top of the head, and she's going to rotate it so she's still working on her right side. And then she, for the ears, will chain 3. I'm only going to chain 2 because my double crochets aren't that tall. And then I'm going to do my 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got my 6 around my loop, and you can see there how she just keeps working in the circle. So even though she attaches it here, she doesn't turn and work this way. I mean, I suppose you could, but you wouldn't get the right side of the stitches there. She just continues working around that loop. So she works that chain, she secures it, and then she keeps working around this way. So after I have those, she chains 3 and slip stitches. I'm just going to chain 2 and slip stitch to my ring, and I'm just slip stitching right in the center of my ring there, and then I'm just going to take it and kind of crunch it over there so it's right next to it. And then she does her chain again, and she does 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then she does her chain 3, which I'm just chaining 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch back in there. There are my ears. There are my ears. And then for the trunk, she's going to chain 3, skip a stitch on the base, and slip stitch to finish, but I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to single crochet to finish. So I'm still going to skip my one here, and I'm going to single crochet there. So that's what it looks like with thread. So, and it's a size 3 thread. It's not a very small thread, and I made enough of a base chain that I can start all over again. So that does look a little bit tighter and a little bit better than the worsted weight. I mean, even the worsted weight still looks like an elephant. The thread looks much more like an elephant, or a little bit more like an elephant. I mean, I guess they look exactly the same. I guess it's just all determines what kind of blanket you're making, or what kind of piece you're making that you want the edging on. So now to start it all over again, you've done that single crochet there to attach the trunk, and the beginning of the pattern says single crochet 8. I'm going to single crochet 7 because I'm going to count that as my first single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to try just a 1 double crochet this, or 1 chain this time, just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to try just doing 1 single crochet, or 1 chain stitch, and then working my double crochet. So she does 3 double crochets, because the top of that chain is going to actually count as a double crochet. So it just looks like it's too far apart for me if I do 2 or 3 chains. It's 2, that's 3, and then she's going to chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and then double crochet 4, 1, 2, whoops, not in the same space, 2, 3, 4. She's going to chain 2 and work her way back across 10. I counted my chain as my first single crochet. But she doesn't include it in her counts, if that makes sense. Two double crochets over that, chain space, and then 4 more double crochets. And this is what I mean by play, because yeah, I think I need to put those 2, I think I need to put 2 double crochets there. I don't know. So I got my 10 double crochets across. Let's see. Well, that does not make any sense. Oh, I'm missing the tail. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing a step. Okay, so after I do my 10 double crochets across, I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for my tail. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to skip that last single crochet, or that first single crochet where we did the trunk, and I'm going to put it into the next one. So I skipped the one where we ended for the trunk, I skipped the one where we ended for the trunk, and I'm going to put it into the next one. And I'm going to slip stitch there. That gives us the next tail. And then I'm going to turn and work my 5 single crochets up the tail, just right over top of the loop. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then she chains 2, and then she double crochets her 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the first chain, 10, and then she's going to work her head again. And I'll tell you what though, once you do more than one, they actually do start looking like elephants, because where you did your ears kind of like turns funky sideways, so it looks like your elephant ears are the right way. So your elephant ears turn this way. And that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. Like the elephant ears kind of turn so that you can see them. I still think I would probably find a way to secure them that way so it would look like my head. But just me. It's just a preference. And then she works the head again, which is her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she single crochet, or she slip stitches. 4, 5. And she slip stitches down here to join it. And then she keeps working around it. So she chains 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then she chains 2, and she slip stitches to the ring on the head, to the head ring. I'm going to pull that up there a little bit closer, and then she chains another 2, and she does another 6 for the other ear. And then she chains 2, and she slip stitches down in the same space. Am I stuck? Slip stitches down in the same space. And then she does her chain 3 for the trunk. She skips the stitch on the base, so that one's worked, that one's skipped, and she single crochets back down into that space there. And then she's got another set of elephants. See, I think I would probably find a way to secure that. So maybe while I was doing one of those double crochets, I would slip stitch it or catch, while I was doing one of the double crochets, catch maybe a stitch down here just so it would stay that way. But then you see she's got the trunk, and then she's got the tail, and then she's got another head, and then she's got another trunk. This is what I mean. I think I would definitely secure it. She's got another trunk. So that is the elephant pattern, which does look like elephants and is actually pretty cute. So I kind of explained how to do those from the pattern. See, you could also, if you wanted the tail to be a little bit thinner, instead of working 5 single crochets over the tail, you could just slip stitch into the chain. So you chained 6 and you came down here and secured it. Instead of turning and working 5 single crochets over that tail, which makes it a little bit thick, you could just take it and you could just slip stitch into each one of those chains and it would make it thinner. That way the tail wouldn't be thicker than the trunk. It would be a very, very cute blanket border. I totally agree with that. That would be a very cute blanket border. You would just have to remember, I think it was a multiples of 18. Is that what I said? Multiples of 18. I'll leave that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Multiples of 19 or multiples of 20. You could probably get away with to do that. And if you wanted the tail to come down a little bit further so this didn't look too curled, instead of doing 8 single crochets there, you could do 7 or 6. You could kind of play with it to get it the way you wanted. You could always just tack this down with some hot glue, or I would probably use the permanent fabric glue, and then I would just lay it flat so that it stuck like overnight, and then it would permanently adhere that. Or you can try to just, while you're making that second double crochet there, this one here, just try to attach it with a slip stitch somewhere during that stitch. Somewhere during that stitch, just pick up like part of this stitch so that it attached. But yeah, that is a really cute border. Okay, so I'm going to call it day number 2. I mean, you could probably do it like that too, but I don't know. I'm going to call it day number 2 because I have to run out the door for a few minutes. And how this one curves down, you could probably actually do 4 chains there so that it didn't pull this up so much. But I kind of like it like that. I think that's kind of okay. I think I would definitely, though, just slip stitch back up this chain instead of doing those single crochets. And again, this is my second one. Get that head up there. You're welcome. So I hope I picked that pattern apart good enough. If you wanted the exact stitch counts, I did. If you go to my profile up there, you're welcome so much, Cindy. I hope I did a good job explaining that. It's strange sometimes, and you see that even for as long as I've been doing it and the things that I can do, reading other people's patterns isn't always easy. It's not easy at all. Sometimes you really have to pick that apart. Like that elephant at this point, if I did it a couple more times, would probably only take me 5 minutes. It would probably take me 5 minutes to do each one of them. So I did 3 of them, and it took me over an hour to decipher that pattern. But you can see how it's cute. It is cute. And the head's kind of turned towards you a little bit, but I don't know if I like the heads turning towards me. I don't know. Your preference. You can play with it, and or you could just simply take a piece of thread here if you wanted and just tack that head down if you wanted to really tack that head down. Or it pops up here and goes that way. You could just take a piece of thread and tack that down. But you know me, I'm a glue freak. So yeah, that's our elephant border, and that's going to be today because I have to jump out of here for a few minutes. And this afternoon I'm probably going to cut some more bag pieces. I still have not found Miss Adrian who wanted this bag, so later on this afternoon I am putting this one on my shop because I don't know what else to do. She didn't get back to me, so, and I have extra squares. And yeah, it's not like she ghosted me. Like, she just seemed to like disappear off of TikTok, so I don't know if she changed everything or what, but so that'll be new up on my site. But I still have 4 at least to line at this point. And then if I do 2 more skull bags, because I have 2 more bags worth of skulls made, and then my violets I'm going to work on tonight. So I'll do a little bit of sewing this afternoon, or at least some sewing prep this afternoon, and I will definitely be back on tonight because I have yarn to use and projects that I want to work on. And that's the point of it. The sewing and the lining is just like the necessary evil. But the yarn is the fun part for me. Alright guys, you have a great day as well. On that note, I'm going to jump off. If you give me a little bit of time there, this should be uploaded to YouTube if you guys want to go back and watch it. And again, I did take the pattern from the pattern site that I followed, and it's See, Love, Share was the name of it. So if you go to my link tree, I'll show you what a link tree looks like. If you go to a link tree, it's taking a minute to load. Okay, so if you click on somebody's link tree, there you go. Okay, I have to move the opposite direction when it's like that. If you click on somebody, it says link tree. This is what you get. You get pretty much a list of all the links that they want to put there that you can go to. And right there is Spotlight Stitch, Elephant Border, See, Love, Share. That's the skull one. That's the Granny Square one. That link takes you to my Instagram, my Facebook, the basic animal body pattern, my YouTube channel, my website, my shop site. So that's what a link tree is. A link tree is just, my YouTube channel name is, well, you can find it in that link tree if you want, but my YouTube channel name, whoops, I sat on it. And I have to flip my camera back again. At NiftyKnotz. And I have all of these tutorials that I do in the mornings. I have them listed under like a playlist / podcast, NiftyKnotz Talk. So if you go to my channel, hey there Stephanie, we were just going to jump off because I have to be out of here soon, for at least for a few minutes. I have a short task to do this morning. this is the playlist slash podcast. So if you go to, that's my channel, and if you go to that playlist, you'll see all the tutorials that I do in the morning. And then in the evenings, I just kind of play, I'm sorry, Stephanie. In the evenings, I just kind of play music and sit and chatter, and we're a little bit more personal and together, which makes me happy. I like that. But I don't like to get into too many personal things during the morning anymore because I upload these to TikTok so you guys can rewatch them. And even though like they don't see the chats, I still don't think that's fair to me or anybody else here to be sharing things that are going to be up there forever. So that's where you would find this tutorial. Again, if you go to my profile and you click on where it says Linktree, you can come down and you can find the pattern link that I put for that pattern. And I'll show you again the Linktree. I had somebody that was afraid to click on a Linktree. Click on the Linktree because it has all the links you may want to possibly. Hate the shop, see you later. Not a problem, but this is what we did. We did an elephant border. So the elephant border is what we did today. And on that note, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their morning, and thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciated it and continue to appreciate it, so I'll continue to say it. And if you want to jump over to my YouTube channel so you guys can rewatch the tutorials I do in the morning, hit that subscribe button. I will say it. It might cost you to subscribe here. It does not cost you to subscribe there. Thank you very much for the follow. And I'm sorry, Stephanie, I'm jumping off real quick. But I will see you guys this evening. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your day, everybody.